Peace and power. Welcome to the first episode of the SKN RBG podcast. I am pleased to be joined tonight by my good brethren, Abasi, the king from the village. Abasi, say what's up to the people.
What's up, people? RBG, you know it is, S.K.N.
Right. So the SKN RBG group, I mean, we're a small group, but we're all about the liberation through the education of our people. We're about promoting black businesses, black family, black spirituality, and black is also code word for African.
Yes.
I know a lot of our people don't like to talk about Africa, but without Africa, black people ain't nothing in this world. So we're going to keep it short for the first episode. We're not going to get into too much right now, but for our first episode, we just want to talk about history and the Black Power movement in St. Kitts and Nevis, the death of it. In St. Kitts, we've been heavily colonized since Thomas Warner got here.
Yes.
And for a small island like this that has had so much history and so much importance to the rest of the Caribbean, good or bad, I find our people to be real ignorant when it comes to issues of history and of the African people and our own economics and salvation. Because I guess for us being on a small island, we've been so thoroughly colonized, as I said, that we really have been rocked to sleep.
Yeah. Indeed, I feel the same way. Conversating with many other Kittitians and the history part, it's just strange. Here, for when we're growing up, they have songs, many songs that they did not teach us our history. They have calypso songs, reggae songs, and it's said throughout, But yet, it's just as if it's just cliches. It's just something to say at the moment.
Right.
Beyond that is nothing. You're not taking it home. You're not trying to get a book that have you inside of it, so you can read about yourself.
But then you see, I find our people too. We want to be everybody else but ourselves.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
true.
Yes, yes.
We want to be Hebrews. We want to be all sorts of things. But we are African people.
Yeah.
And as the elder, Dr. Rashidi always says, you are African. Be comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And it's something that we really have to get, comfortable with, because I don't think our people even like the idea to attach ourselves to the African continent.
Yeah.
And I tell you why it's important for us to understand our history, you see, because understanding our history, you understand how the world works. You understand why the world works through a European clock, works through a European banking system.
Yes.
Our people seem to think that this is just how the world is. Not really. There's a reason for this.
Yeah.
And the world never, used to be this way all the time until certain people who I call our enemies, personally, came through and turned the world upside down, right? And our people seem to be comfortable in this paradigm now, and we can't afford to be comfortable. As we see what's going on in the States right now, those are only outward expressions of what been happening for hundreds of years, thousands of years.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's just a modern outward expression of it. The only difference is now in America, there's a government friendly to white supremacists. So these people are emboldened. And this is what's happening now. And it's important for us to know our history and where we come from and know that this ain't just start now.
Yes.
And until we understand how we got here, we're not going to be able to face this enemy, and we're not going to be able to come out on top.
At all. The disconnect, that's why I have to call it as, from since the Atlantic slave trade. We were brought over here, and the slavery part, it was, the goal was actually to turn us actually into animals, but unfortunately, to turn us into animals would have been detrimental on their part. So they keep us half human, half animal, basically. And that's up to a point when they realize to start education us, and the first type of education that they give us was Christianity, with the church. That's the only place we could have go. And if you read many history books, even to during the truth, they will tell you, in the church is where the congregate, the mastermind, the whatever revolt against the plantation owners. And during that time, it was okay for we to the go church, sing the songs, and so the Negro spiritual had code meanings in their songs. But forward up to this generation now, I would say probably after World War II. I think that's was the time when things really changed for black people, where there was a bit of reconnecting was happening. Then something happened, bam, it changed. It was a totally a biblical card breakaway from Africa. And it was bombardment of a lot of anti-African information to the Western world. We actually, that's the space we occupied at this moment within, and because of that, the bombardment all the time, African, everything was bad, 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 bad. So you, a black person now, hating things of African. So therefore, then you become aware that you actually hate yourself. And being aware the European lifestyle, the oppressors, the white man, to be correct, perfect, you try to be everything to be like them. So therefore, when we try to get our identity, we have to jump to something that they will accept. They will accept a Hebrew. They will accept an Israelite. They will accept those type of things from the Judeo-Christian order. So that's the part. We want to be accepted by them. So we have to choose things that they will accept.
That will please it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but then you see, it works to our detriment to disconnect ourselves to Africa. I tell you what I mean. You see, for some reason, there's a group of people, well, I'll speak to St. Kitts alone. There's a group of people in St. Kitts that do not want black people to think solely for black people.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I mean by that. Black people have always been, African people have always been the warmest people on the earth.
Yeah.
Because we've always had a lot.
Yes, that's true.
Come from a continent with everything.
Yeah, yes.
Never really had to want for a lot of things.
Nothing.
And, when we saw the European for the first time, these things are documented.
Yes.
The European was very good at documenting these things.
Yeah.
When the West Africans saw the European for the first time, he didn't fight them.
No. No.
They look a bit odd, but they welcome them still.
Yeah.
They trade with them and all of that. The problem is our people don't seem to understand that. Well, in my opinion, African people and the European have different mental setups.
Yeah.
African people are very warm. And this is why still people love coming to the Caribbean. Black people are very warm, friendly.
Yes.
You always hear them talk about the friendliness of the islands. We market our islands as very friendly. Or people, naturally welcoming.
Yes.
Right? But what works against us is that we still don't seem to understand our enemy.
Yeah.
Right? These people come from a place where they had to essentially fight each other for whatever little scraps. They come from cold climates. They had to fight each other for everything.
Yes.
They come from a situation where they were into serfdom. The people were pushed down by the superiors.
Yes.
So when they came down to us, they came with the mentality of not to partake and say, well, let me just work with these people and trade with them fairly.
Yes.
Not to partake, they came to take over.
Yeah.
And that is still in play today.
Yeah.
This is why you have issues where people who come to St. Kitts and want to build a house and block off a beach.
Yeah.
In Frigate Bay.
Yeah.
Because this is my beach.
Yep.
This ain't yours no more. This is mine. This part of the beach is mine. You can't walk here.
True.
Not let me build my house back from the sand and let everybody, access the beach. This is mine.
Yeah.
And you can't walk here.
Yes.
This is that kind of mentality.
Yes, a lot of personalization.
Right? You were talking about that after World War II, there was some going back to Africa talk and people were trying to reconnect with their roots. This was even before that. You had people really talking about Africa. We need to, because this was just post-slavery abolition, especially in the States.
Yeah.
It was just post, right? I mean, black people were still catching hell and all of that.
Yeah.
Right? Because even in those same world wars, World War I and whatnot, black people were essentially conscripted to go fight for European powers.
Yep, exactly.
But their situation at home was terrible because there was a lot of colonialization.
Yep.
Right?
True, yeah.
But then, as you said, something happened after that.
Yeah.
People start to realize, okay, these black people start to wake up a little bit. We got to dumb them back down.
Yeah.
Right? We got to start to give them little bits and pieces to kind of get them comfortable because nobody likes things more than us do.
Yes,
we love things.
Yeah, man. We love, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Show off.
We love things and we like to be accepted by this European.
Yeah.
So if they just give us a little bit and make us feel nice, we're going to just chill.
Yep.
We're going to forget about everything and we're going to just chill.
Yeah.
So the Black Power movement has been really targeted for years upon years.
True.
This has been going on, just post abolition of slavery, emancipation of the people.
Yeah.
You know, you had people up and down, the Marcus Garveys in the Caribbean and whatnot. These people were around talking about that. Marcus Garvey was vilified by his own people.
Yeah, yep.
You know, and we just passed Marcus Garvey out there.
Yes.
And we want to give thanks for the ancestor.
Yeah, man, great, man.
For all the work he did.
Yes.
But as I was saying, quickly, I'm going to finish up, that just post abolition, our people had more of a feel because we needed to leave.
Yep.
We had the people in the States who went back and founded Liberia and these places.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Marcus Garvey coming from the Caribbean, touring the Caribbean and South America and East North America, speaking to African people. Yeah. We need to leave this place, go back home and build.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We can't stay here with these people.
Nope.
You know, what we don't win through with them. We can't be here.
Yes.
You know
can't be my neighbor.
Can't be my neighbor.
Yes.
So you find in St. Kitts, there's a group of people who do not want the Black Power movement to reach nowhere. And unfortunately, Abasi, a lot of them are black people.
Yes,
right?
yes.
What your feelings
true.
on that?
Yes. Well, the understand is that for that, the system, it came up to, from education, well, actually it's church, then education. That's we start, because you go up, your parents take you to church, you get indoctrinized to the church, Christian religion, if they accept yes or not, but you still have your idea of God. It's true. Christianity, the Bible. Then education. The education system was set up. If we know its issue, we know that oppressors from plantations, the emancipation, the school, first schools was of religious, attached to a church. That's the first type of school. Then after it break down, the government build a school, but this is a system of education already set up. Whereas for we, it was much for first for teaching the European kids, then for we. Then so therefore we will have to work for the European kids. And it continue to know. And since that's the case, they control the education system. Therefore, the come for history will have to be through their eyes. You know, we go to school and they say Caribbean history. Think about it, Caribbean history. We are black people. We are not Caribbean. So the history cannot be through to our own eyes. It cannot be something that could inspire us to be better people.
Right.
It can't happen unless it be true. It be through our own lenses. And in school is not. We come to Christianity, through the world, to God, is not through a black eyes again. It's through them European eyes. Straight long. So when these guys have these philosophies, there's no way they can accept black. All this in education is against black empowerment. Right. No matter how much you want to say, yeah, you go get a bank for black businesses, black employment, that we speak. In the end, the whole scheme of things is not for black people to be ahead. You know, Christianity the same way. For Christianity to become, and you prefer to be poor and be a Christian than leave Christianity and fight to be rich. It's not going to happen, because the thing is, this is who you are. You're black, you're bottom, and you will stay down here. And most you can attain is material things.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
And we caught up in it, as you said before. We like a lot of things.
We like things.
We like it. So that's appeal to us. You know, education appeal to us the same way. Get good education, go to what? Get material stuff. You turn Christianity, you go into what stuff, man, Christians. Material stuff, nothing substantial to our spirituality, nothing to bring us closer to Africa.
Well, funny you should talk about the religious aspect of things, because that had a lot to play in. I think it was sort of a double-edged sword for us in terms of black power in St. Kitts and Nevis, right? Where you had the churches coming, you know, and in the book, I started in the book from Probing Innis, Historic Basting. He was talking about the, it was this book that I just read from Leonard Stapleton, Places of Memory. And he was talking about the history of the churches in St. Kitts,
okay,
right?
Okay, yeah.
Whereas we know the Catholic Church was essentially for the European and the European descendants and all that, right? When the Methodists and the Moravian came in, right, people flocked to them, or the planters were more friendly to them because they had success in sort of keeping the slaves in other islands where they were docile.
Yes, true.
Because they were just starting them coming to the Caribbean. They wanted membership.
Yeah.
So they went out and they preached hard the idea of slaves be humble and obedient to your masters.
Yeah, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
This is all in the book.
Yes.
And they were talking about how the planters welcome them because they saw because they had, of course, they had the little uprisings inside the island, so they don't want that. But the best way they could get this true to the enslaved people is that God don't want it to be rowdy.
Humble.
God wanted to be humble. And if you're humble, you know what I'm saying, you go in heaven. Right? So so this is how religion came to us here as enslaved people. It didn't come to free us, you know.
At all.
It come to keep us docile. And keep us walking, keep us to be happy slaves. So in saying is we got a lot of happy slaves. Right? You got people here who, I didn't even go to church because Marcus Garvey was a spiritual man. I think he was a Catholic or something. Right? But what Marcus Garvey understood, he was an African first. He was an African first. People in St. Kitts don't understand, I am an African first. For some, you know, John Henry Clark said in his book, African Holocaust, that when a black person goes into a religion, he goes into a religion of Puritan. He said, you will find no bigger Christian than a black person.
Than a black person, yes.
You ain't gonna find no bigger Muslim
than a black person.
We are the most vigorous in pursuit of these religions. Who have nothing to do with us.
Nothing.
You understand?
Yes.
So, as you say, coming down, the first schools were set up by these churches. So while they were teaching us to read and write, they were still teaching you to be humble. And who you were being humble to? The colonials. Right? Because even though you were emancipated, we were still under colonial rule. So you still had to chill. You were no better off, really. You were teaching you how to read and write. But the church was still working hand in hand with the state to keep you in your place. So religion have a lot to do with the destruction of the black power movement in St. Kitts and Nevis. A lot to do with it. Our people don't understand we're black first. We don't get it. Until now, we don't get it.
And it's sad to see for the information, the world information, internet, it's there, information there. You know, when you turn on, most people in St. Kitts, when they turn on the news, it's either to Fox or CNN or whatever, and whatever racial things going on in America, it's squash there, they're reading it. But yet, for some reason, it's still not, wow, if that going on there, let me see, you know, but it's not switching head to like think, I'm black. That's me, that's my sister, that's me getting abused. No, it's not there. I cannot see that. They do not look at another black person as brother, sister, mother, and father.
Let me ask you something. No, you say that, right? It's very interesting because that's also part of the Black Power movement, to attach yourself, and sorry, the Pan-African movement also, to attach yourself to black people around the world. There seems to be a disconnect between us and everybody else. Like saying these people don't think that, you know, us and people in the States have the same issues. Just because nobody don't, you know, beating us or marching against us. We really don't think that that concerns us. You know?
Exactly. And it's sad because it's the same thing. I mean, granted, we are independent and we have black PMs, you know. That's how the people who we fought for independence from, that's how they're governed. We continue governing the same way, the same structure. We have a constitution, say, for us or whatever, but in the end, the same structure. In America, it's different where the land is shared between the same colonial masters, the slaves, and now these other migrants that come from all over parts of the world into America. Now, so for them, reality is where they do not control the economics, the political aspect for their own country, for the country that they live in. So we look at it, well, we don't have a white prime minister, so what it be? I'm not going on the street and somebody out, go back to Africa, nigger. So they're not experiencing the whole lesson. So for them, there's no emotional attachment at all. You know, at all.
Right.
And that's the whole thing, you know. But they should see themselves because, as you know, for many Black Power movement activists, Pan-African activists, you know, one black person get hurt anywhere in the world, all of us feeling that same pain.
Almost definitely.
All of us feeling that same pain.
Right.
Until we understand that.
Right.
Yeah, man, the same pain.
So you know, all is happening now in the States. And trust me, this ain't just happening in the States.
Yeah.
Our people are under attack worldwide.
Yes, yes.
We've been under attack for a long time now. Ever since our enemies, caught their footing and start getting contact with us, we've been under attack from these people.
Yeah.
And I tell you what I mean by that. You see, if you look at the world today, as I said, the world operates to European, I should say standards.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
Our people have been at the bottom of the Europeans' version of economic standards for a while.
Yeah.
We've been at the bottom of it.
Yes.
The European has us, and this comes into black economic systems, right? They've been attacking us sometimes, like in our countries, not physically, but they've been attacking us economically.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What they do, where they can't attack you with batons or guns,
Yes, yes.
they do certain things to you to control you.
Yes.
Right? And this is where our people should find a kindred spirit with our brothers and sisters in the States.
Yeah.
Because they're being attacked physically.
Yeah.
Right? But look at what happened there sometime. I think there was some whaling scandal or something here in St. Kitts, or some supposed whaling thing where I think some Japanese thing was flying our flag or some nonsense.
Yes, I remember, yeah.
And these people were online trying to cripple our economy through tourism.
Yeah.
A bunch of these Europeans.
Yes, yeah.
Because they know that they could crush this country.
Yeah.
So this is what I mean. When you see black people struggling, understand that you're struggling too.
Yeah, yes.
These people have control over what you're doing.
Yes.
So when you don't know your history and know how things, because this has been happening all the time.
Yep.
This has been happening since the Portuguese sailed on the African coast
yes.
in the 15th century.
Yes.
It hasn't stopped. They come with the same tactics. And this is where knowing your history comes into play.
Yeah, true.
And in talking about the Portuguese thing, I'm going to do a Google Hangouts presentation about how the Portuguese set up the transatlantic slave trade.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to do a quick thing about that because a lot of people don't understand Portugal's role in slavery over here. Even though Portugal didn't have any colonies in the Caribbean,
yeah.
Portugal set up the whole system.
Yes.
Anyway, back to what I was saying. Our people don't have any sort of attachment to people in the States, as you say, because we feel like, okay, we've been ruling ourselves.
Yep.
We had black leaders.
Yep.
Nobody shooting me down the street. No white cop shooting me down the street. And I don't care.
Yeah.
What is it to me? Right?
Yeah.
But one thing that travels is ideology.
Yes.
Those people bring the ideology from up there
Yep.
and they come down here with it.
Yes.
This is why the other day you had an issue somebody wrote on Facebook about some American white person or a British white person over Majors Bay telling them to move from on or some tree that was there first. That's their tree. Right?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, you.
So this is what just happened. But this ain't the first time it happened.
Yes, that's true. We have stories of people entering white established businesses and the response they get from the owners like wow, actually I'm not going to patronize that business again.
Real talk.
Yeah, yes.
These people come with their ideology.
Yes.
And they want your things, they just don't want you.
Yeah.
So when you think that don't affect white supremacy, don't American or European white supremacy don't affect you, trust me.
Yes.
Ideologies travel.
Yes.
And when they come here, they come with the ideology and they come to implement it on you.
Yes.
So while you ain't being attacked physically, well, not yet anyway, because trust me, it coming.
Yeah.
It coming.
Yeah.
You know, once you keep playing with these people and you don't put your foot down as a black person, it coming, King.
Yeah.
Once you give them an inch, they're going to take the whole mile.
Come on. Yep.
You understand?
Yeah.
We haven't, this is history again. We haven't learned that when they came to Africa, we gave them an inch.
Yes.
You want trade? Cool.
Yeah.
No problem. Hey, how you doing? I'll buy you stuff from you. Go ahead back.
Yes.
And they start realizing, these people are all right. Let me push a little bit more.
Yeah.
Let me push a little bit more.
Yeah.
Until maybe you start to push back, it's done too late.
Yeah. And I'm back on that pushing. I tell you, reading a book. I think I want to say it's a Yoruba author. I don't remember the name of the book, but it was one time. Not Europeans, the first encounters. They come to this village and And they came and like, they say you see them trading everything good. They say, no, they come. They say they want to build up a setup. So the Africans then will say, well, they don't want them to live amongst them because they're different in the whole culture to stay intact. So they give them a place, and the place where the camp is where they bury animals and the burying ground. The Europeans accept it, build the homes, build up everything. The Africans that were surprised, like, wow, these people still here, thinking they would live because it's burying ground. But unknowing, to the Africans that their idea was not to come and be neighbor. They don't come to set a watch what we're doing, then we're going to keep on reach, where we're actually going to own your house, and you're going to be one outside sweeping that same mat that you put up, you nice little African join, you know, and that's what the thing, you know, and eventually that will happen. That's what happened. And I just say for history, if we have to read the history and understand, we'll understand, wow, this is nothing like, people say like, nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new under the sun.
You know what I mean? Yes, it's nothing new. So that's the thing. We have to be on people. You know, that's that thing beyond. You know, we have a World Trade Organization. All these things not good for black people. You know, all these World Organization, One World, all sort of thing might of globalization is nothing good for we black people. Here in Caribbean, St. Kitts, no matter where we are, is not good for us. We need something that say Africa.
Right.
Africa.
Right.
That's what we need. And when we tried to come through back in the 60s for the Black Power movement in the Caribbean, it was turned down because the idea for Africa, no. You know, and the idea of people supreme, then nothing great ever come out of Africa. You know, for the movies, them come out, the dumbest down, look at Tarzan, a beautiful movie. I mean, how many people, black and white, see that? Right. And to them, it's good. You know, when they watch Tarzan, they connect themselves to the apes, not to the man who's swinging across the tree, Sabam.
Right.
You know, you can't, that's the whole thing from Bank for the movies to the literature that we had them time. You know, it's just been a bombardment, all these anti-African propagandas all the time. And I would say we forward now to back to where black studies will help to erode, reverse some of that, you know, trauma that we yes you know, but
definitely.
But I say for we know, we as black people in St. Kitts, we have to love ourselves, accept ourselves as being African.
Well, you know, funny you said that, you know, talking about learning and reading certain things and so, you know, every time I expose my ideology about loving my people first, somebody always quick to call me a racist. If I was a black person. So, you know, I tell my people, look, I look for black women first.
Yes.
You know, I want to have a black family.
Yes.
I want to deal with black businesses.
Yes.
Some black person gonna say, oh, so what happened, you're a racist? And, you know, you really got to step back sometimes and take a breath.
Yeah.
Because I was there too at one point.
Yeah.
When I was young, you know, I was seeing the world through European lenses.
Yeah.
And I understand because, as you said, the media has spoken about when a person sees their race first, they usually attach it to white supremacy.
Yeah.
But our black people seem to think that's how we would think too.
Yeah.
And I always should encourage people, you know, you need to read and understand that African people, did not have the same mentality as the Europeans.
At all.
And you ask them, name one African nation or culture that did the things in the name of race that the European or the Arab did. But the European we're going to deal with right now. Because that's who really affected us.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Name one thing, one time, that an African person put themselves above somebody else.
Yeah.
Because of race.
Yeah.
And they can't.
They can't.
And when you speak to them and you tell them, look, history tells us that African people were doing just fine. Yeah. You know,
without them.
Without the European. Yes, were doing just fine.
Just fine, exactly.
And you speak to them and you encourage them to, you need to read. You can't live a life of ignorance. Yes. I mean, I have people who tell me, like one young sister tell me, you know, she don't want to hear nothing more history. She ain't gonna pass and she glad she ain't gonna pass. She told me this. Yeah. And I couldn't believe the sister tell me that. I couldn't believe it. You know, the sister got African names. Right?
Yes.
And I had to explain to her, so, you know, your name is African names. You know that? But this is the mentality of our people.
Yeah. Yes.
We don't want to hear nothing about Africa.
Yeah.
For instance, I went into talking about, with one young man, a businessman, and I explained to him the importance of black people supporting their own businesses.
Yeah.
And this comes into black power and history. I explained to him that, look around St. Kitts, right? You see all them shuttered bar shops and so.
Yeah.
All of them were owned by black people.
Yeah.
Black people had small businesses. Yeah. But for some reason, black people never thought their businesses were worth carrying on. So they used to run the child out the bar shop. Don't teach them nothing.
Yeah.
Go from here, come go to school. Because they figure, go ahead school. This bar shop is to only help you to go and do something better.
Yeah.
They saw the bar shop as law.
Yep.
So when I show him, I say, if you understand history, you'll realize what happened.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody put pride in us to understand that our business was worth it. Mm-hmm. Right? Nobody tell us that.
Nobody at all.
So end up happening, the business is closed down. You see all these old bar shops shuttered.
Yeah.
I said, look who own them now.
Yeah.
Chinese. Yeah. All those people own the bar shops. I said, how come now those same bar shops have what?
Yeah.
And we flocking to go buy from them.
Yeah.
I said, you see what happening?
Yeah.
I said, that's history.
Yes.
And if you would read, you would understand what's happening. Because this has been happening for years.
Yes.
You understand me?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Saying his history will tell you that when people who actually immigrated here, because remember, black people didn't immigrate here.
Yeah, we don't.
You understand?
No. Exactly.
We get drop off here.
Yeah, man.
Hall
cross.
Exactly. When people immigrated here, right, they came here with links in the homeland still.
Yes.
Or links with some family member who might have went up in the States.
Yeah.
Because those people were immigrating.
Yes,
so they had actual addresses where they could write people.
Yeah.
So when people come here and tell you how people were selling out the suitcases and all kind of thing and they had to struggle hard. I said, that wasn't no struggle hard.
At all.
Black people didn't even got a goddamn suitcase.
Oh.
You understand?
Yeah, yes.
Lucky they had a suitcase.
Suitcase, if true.
I said, history will tell you can't be great unless you have links with your home country.
Exactly.
You can't be great. So if you realize you have people now who have links with the home country still.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? Businesses. Yes. And you can't blame them. Because what they do, they make sure the family's straight.
Yes.
They married selectively amongst themselves.
Yes.
Are people who look like them.
Mm-hmm.
Or they married into upper classes.
Yeah.
Who could help them.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
They made sure their money stay in their little community.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They did business with each other.
Yes.
And that's how they built wealth.
Yeah.
For some reason, we haven't learned that.
Mm-hmm.
We chose to ignore our own and do business with them.
Yeah.
You see, we don't approach those people as equals. We approach them as second-class citizens.
Yeah.
We approach them as consumers.
Mm.
A consumer can't be the same as the owner of the business.
No.
Right?
Yeah, you're correct.
I told the brother, this is history.
Yes,
brother.
yes.
And if you understood what happened in 1920 and these times,
yes,
you'd understand how the chessboard is stacked, how it is stacked now.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, back to the economics. I remember Dr. Claude, and he said, this is referring to America now. We're saying that in the Jewish community, the money bounced 9 times before it leaves that community. In the black community, it bounced once or not at all. It's the same thing here. Yes, it's the same thing. The same thing. We get our monies and we will to run out by these things to all these other people when we're not even checking our own selves. We're not even knocking our neighbors doing like, bam, bam, I know you sell this and this. How much you will sell it for, how much or whatever. No, you cross him out. You go down there, put your money somewhere else, but that money will not going to return to your community. The person in your community who you're going to buy your food stuff, your provisions from lives in your community. The persons probably have child or play with your own child. It's a community thing. And that's what we as Africans was able to develop before the Europeans. Because they had the cold climate to deal with. We have a nice, we done into a warm temperature at that time. So we was able to be around each other all the time. Communal living. So that's what we as Africans do. They come, the site, didn't understand it, and if you go back to history, you'll see that their family structure be dysfunctional from them times, dysfunctional, and even for history, I can remember one time in history where I think it was in somewhere in America, in another part of America, where there actually was a law for man to get married and stay with the girl, because you come, they have sex, the child come, and they leave, run off from the east, gone to the west, to the gold mine. So they done left baby mamas. I would say they started it. We did not start that. We didn't have a girl, I have no baby mamas. We stay with the family. We stay with the family. That's what their thing. They come, bam, they're gone for the next adventure, the next thing. That was it. For we're not. So the family get this started. So we come up with the same thing. He planned to shoot slavery, to take us away, bam. They do get married, have sex or whatever, the child go away, they pull husband away, because they don't want to communicate, create that bond. So you always say, no matter how we try to put something together, it's been tear apart. And for the business side now, we're being so much pulling apart that we don't want to get pulled apart anymore. So when you have something, instead to try build it, we're not even going to try. We're going to go ahead and like, okay, here's my monies. I want this, I want this, I want that. And you come back with all the goodies to show off. Things again what we love. Things again what we love. We can show off the goodies that what we see from working. And in the end, at the end of the day, we're still in the same condition. The same condition. Right. You're able to eat 3 meals a day. You're still in the same condition.
Right.
Mentally, you're still in the same condition, because you go to work, probably the job you don't even like. You understand? The clothes that you wear, you have no say. We always think that is me. I put on what I feel like and all. It's no. You have no say over how the dress design.
Right.
They make it look appealing to you. Emotions, that's why you buy it. And you claim, say, you buy it because you like it. Yes, and it just goes on, it goes on, and reach down to, for us here in saying it's the Caribbean, right. And just the start. Many things.
Well, let's say we're not going to stay too long, right? This is just our first broadcast. We just want to feel it out for a bit.
Yeah.
We're going to get our act together. We're going to get our video one of these days. So, again, man, SKN RBG. If you want to find us, facebook.com/SKNRBG. Join our organization. We want to rekindle the Black Power movement in St. Kitts and Nevis. And we want to see black people get on top.
Yes, on top, people.
You understand?
On top.
It's liberation through education.
Yes.
Abasi, any final words for the people?
Well, I would say, we know, many songs, many people feel, if you don't know where you're coming from, you don't know where you're going. And it still, has meaning today. Because up to this day, we don't know where we come from. And definitely, we don't know where we are going. And that's the thing. So
right. Well, I want to thank everybody for listening. My name is Greg Herbert, and I want to say a special good night to all the brothers and sisters good night or good morning, whenever you're listening to this, to all the brothers and sisters who gave us just a few minutes of your time.
Yes.
I want to recommend a book. I'm going to do this after every broadcast. It is From Columbus to Castro, by former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Eric Williams.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful book. Okay. It pretty much covers all of Caribbean history. It is a must-own for anybody who is interested in knowing about our people, where we come from, and our enemies. So peace and black power to all the people out there.
Yeah, black power.